Hi guys, welcome to the second video of Tony's Talks on our Yarm Martial Arts YouTube, and it's great to see you guys. My name's Tony Rice, Chief Instructor of Yarm Martial Arts. We've been in business for over 20 years, or going into our 20th year, and these talks are basically just to help you in regards to having a positive outcome and different ideas, what tools, what we've used for the children and our adults and myself and what I've learned over the years. To give you an idea, what you're listening to some of the a longer version of what we break down to teach the children in regards to different ideas and different things to improve their lives and giving them the ideas and the tools as they get older to meet the challenges of life. Now, what we're going to talk about today is goals and why we have goals and what are goals and why we should have goals and how do we set goals. So I'm going to give you a few little tools as we go along today, guys, in regards to things, because there's so much out there in regards to personal development, setting goals. How long should a goal be? You know, should it be a short-term goal, medium-term goal, long-term? And basically, what would you set a goal for? In every area of life, you can set a goal. Now, if we take it right back to the martial arts way of thinking, the children and our students, our children and our adults, our students, basically, they're all already set a goal. They're aiming for the next belt. Now, that might not be written down. Some might have written it down, some might not. Now, you've got a situation where even in goals, people are so polarised. Some people believe in them and some people don't. But everyone does them, whether they know it or not. What do I mean by that? Okay, a mum has to pick the children up, has to get the shopping in for the week. So she goes shopping, she makes a list of what she's doing. So there's a goal list already of what she's requiring. She goes to the shop. She knows what time she's got. So that's a time action. That's a goal. She needs to be out of that supermarket to go and pick the children up from school. So effectively, she's already mentally setting goals. And all of us do that, guys. Every day we set a goal. Now, most people say, I need to be here by so-and-so time. I need to be here by so-and-so time. I need to get this job done by this deadline. That's all goal setting. It's a time action goal set. Okay? So we're all actually doing goals. Now, what is a goal? Okay, a goal is predicting your actions to achieve what you want to achieve. I.e., for instance, not everybody, but most people actually spend more time on booking a holiday than actually focusing on what they want in life. Now, I'm not just saying that through my own experience, but it's what I consistently see and read in over 10 years of personal development training, in going to seminars, reading books, watching podcasts, watching YouTubes of different personal development guys who, you know, are motivational speakers. And it's interesting that when you listen and speak to people, they get excited about booking a holiday, but they don't get excited about setting goals for life in different areas of life. Now, there's variations. Some people say there's 12 areas of life. Some people say there's 9 areas of life. Some people say there's only 3 areas of life. I'm not going to talk about them areas because I just want to generalise what today's about why we should have goals and why we need them, why we set them. Now, so we spoke about what is a goal. Now, a goal could be limited to, it's got to be on your time, it's got to be time framed, it's got to be resultable, so you can see the results, which works without you measurable. So you've got to measure it out at what part, because you don't want one goal. What you do is you would set a big goal and then work backwards and make smaller goals. So it's measurable as you're going along. You can see that you're making progress to that big goal. So that's what a goal is, but why should we have goals? Now, if I asked you, what do you want in life? Some of you might not be able to answer it. And some of you will answer it straight away. But also what I've said, but what else do you want? Now, some of you might be able to answer that straight away. A lot of people can't answer 2 or 3 questions. Now, I've done this regular. I've done it with my own staff. I've done it with the children. I've done it with adults. I'll actually say to them, okay, where's your direction? Where you're going in life? You know, what you achieve. And to be honest with you guys, it's always the same. Financial freedom, okay? To be able to not work as much, to enjoy life more. That tends to be the 3 main things what people are after. Now that's great because that's what everybody wants. But also is your contribution, you know, to your family, contribution to your community, contribution to your own learning. That's only in contribution area. You know, that's one of the areas that I spoke about earlier on. Now, also, you need goals to show you where you're going in life. It's like flying a plane. If you fly in a plane and you're the pilot of the plane and you've got no dials, no telling you where you're going and what direction you're going in, you could end up anywhere. And that's what happens in life. A lot of people who don't have goals actually go through life not going anywhere and do the same thing, predictable, same thing time and time again. And as someone said, the good sign of insanity is repeating the same thing day in, day out. Okay? Now, obviously in regards to that, I will agree with that, because early in my part of my life, in the being employed, that's what I was doing. Going to work, coming home, going out on the weekend, go back to work. And at one point in my young life, I actually sat and thought, is this it? Is this all there is to life? Then I bought my very first book in regards to personal development, which was actually a book called Goals, written by a man called Brian Tracy, who's well known in the personal development area. And I read this thing about goals, and basically it's just what I'm saying today. And it goes into a lot more detail, but that was the first time I'd actually sat and thought, well, actually, what do I want? Where do I want to go? How do I want to achieve? Now, our business, the Yarm Martial Arts business, okay, it's been successful over 20 odd years, but that hasn't come because it's not just because we decided to do a business. We had to set out, how was I going to go from employed to self-employed to being an entrepreneur and a business owner? Secondly, it was, how was I going to be from 0 to 10 students, from 10 students to 20 students, from 30 students, right up to our, we've had up to 400 students here at one particular time. Now, it's great, and I'm not just saying that just to say how successful we've been or anything like that. That's just to say how you build it up with goals. And obviously within that student body, well, I need more instructors. Where's the money going to come from? So you set these goals and orientations and time levels, and that's what we do. Okay? So that's why you need goals. Now, you might not, like I said earlier on, you might not realise you've got goals, but you actually do goals every day. So how do we set goals? Well, basically, there's different methods and there's different tools out there. Some people should not go beyond a year. Some guys say you should not go no longer than 3 years. Some say you should go 5, and some say you should go 10 years, but no more than 10 years. Me personally, I tend to stick to 4-year plans because I just think that 4 years is enough to aim for, and it's equal to the quarter of the year. That's why I have 4 years. You have 4 quarters in the year, and I thought break it down into yearsly means it easier. So if I've got a goal that's 4 years ahead, I can break it down in years, and then I can break it down in the quarters, then I can break it down into the months, and then work for that goal each month. Little steps each time to get to the bigger goal. Some people say 4 years is too long. That's fine. It's your personal choice how you predict your goals. There's no set rules in setting goals and how you want to do it. It's all personal choice. But there's one thing that a lot of people, when they set goals and write down on a piece of paper, or they put it in a book, or they put it on the computer and look at it, there's one thing that tends to be missing by a lot of people who do not achieve their goals, is the desire. Now, as Tony Robbins said, okay, he was a very, very successful personal development guy. If you've never come across him, go and see him. He's an absolutely brilliant guy. I know a lot of people have been to see him, and he's an amazing guy. But Tony Robbins basically says that if you have a desire but you don't have any emotional pain to it, you will not achieve it. What does he mean by that? Basically what he means is you have to have pain, whether it's an emotional pain, whether it's physical pain, i.e. overweight. Yeah, I'm not saying pain of being in, or I'm in pain, but like you look at your body, you might be overweight. That's a pain. That's an emotional pain as well, because you don't like the way you look, you don't like the way you feel. So therefore, until you get to a point where you cannot stand it anymore, that is when you will set the desire that you want to go to the gym or get a personal trainer. So what do? That is setting the goal. Because if you go to a personal trainer, for instance, we just, for argument's sake, we say we're overweight and we want to change. The personal trainer will make a plan. In his plan will be a goal of how much, where should we get you within 6 months? Where should we get you in 5 months? So they're setting the goal. He's setting the goal for you to be at this particular weight at this particular point. So then he's giving you the structure, and then obviously he will work backwards in giving your physical plan and also your nutritional plan to lose that weight. Now, if that desire wanes and the person who's losing the weight gets to halfway through that plan and decides mentally, oh, I'm okay now, that plan 9 times out of 10 will get followed through because they've lost that desire. Some people call it motivation. I'm a big personal believer that you have to act before you get the motivation. Some people think you need the motivation to act. No, you need to take the first steps and then the motivation comes. I'm a big believer in that. You have to take that first step to get the motivation. Some people say it should be the other way around, but there is a lot of guys out there, girls and boys who talk about goals a lot more deeper than I am at you today, will actually turn around and say you have to act to get the motivation. So, and if you think about it, if we look at our students, the way they come in, 9 out of 10, they'll come in and we'll get them on the floor and they're not too sure whether to take to martial arts, whether they're going to like it. That's their choice. But we get them on the floor, and that is our motivation, to get them on the floor, because we know by acting on it, start kicking and punching and getting involved in the class, their motivation starts taking over and they turn up for every class. So that's the point of where I'm coming from on that section. Now, how long should you go? Like I say, 4 years for me. Some people go for 10 years. I'll break it down. I'll start from the top and work my way backwards. And that's a great point of doing it, because you cannot go from the start point to where you want to be. You can do it that way, but it's a lot easier in my experience. And I think a lot of the guys who are out there who write stuff about goals and setting plans, they actually say start from the top and work your way backwards. Now, the thing is, guys, is you have to follow through the goals. You can't just set your goals, write them down, leave them, because you need to look at them every day. A lot of people don't do this, and this is another tool that I will give you today. It's basically, you need to look at your goals on a morning and on a night. Now, the reason you do that is because each goal you visualise having. Okay, for instance, you want an extra £10 a week. Just a nice simple one. That's all it is. If you focus on that every morning and then look at it again and really feel what it feels like to have an extra £10 in your pocket on a night, what actually happens is your brain gets used to this, and what actually happens is starts working out how you're going to achieve that. And then some people call it inspiration, some people call it great ideas, but basically you'll see a pop come in your head, and next thing you know is you've gained that £10 extra a week, and you can see it going. That's setting the goal. Okay. Another one, Mike, what I had this summer was to get my garden back to what, as my children are teenagers now. My two youngest are teenagers now. As you appreciate, they love to be in the garden with the children. Before they were born, my garden was full of flowers, and I was on one day I thought, right, I'm not going to grow any more flowers because I need it to be grassy area just for the children until they get older. So that was a bit of a goal, and that was put to one side, and that was left. This year, as the children were going less and less in the garden and being out with their friends and things like that and doing other activities, they got to a point where I decided I want to get my garden back. So within February, right down, I planned what I wanted, what flowers I wanted, how did I want it to look, and we did that. Me and my wife, we did that in a set way, and within 3 months, we had a beautiful, colourful garden. Now, we did that by goal setting, planning out what we wanted, doing the time actions, taking the actions that we needed to do, i.e. buy plants, buy seeds, whichever we want to do, when we were going to pot them, when we thought we were going to repot them again, and when we were going to put them into the bigger pots. So we'd already planned that out roughly. So we had to put that in our schedule because we appreciate running a business. You know, sometimes we were working weekends. So it was, when are we going to do it? When are we going to put it in our schedule? And that's one of the reasons why you have goals as well. Is to put into action so you know where you're going. So basically, guys, the reason why you have goals is to set yourselves up so you can plan where you're going, what you're doing, and it's important because then you can see the benefit, and it makes you grow personally inside, that you think you're going in a great direction, and also at the end of the day you're achieving what you want in life. We will talk about that later, but I hope that this talk hasn't been too boring for you guys, and you've got a few little tools out of that and a few little ideas about goal setting, and why we have goal setting here in the martial arts, why my team have goals, and why I have goals. It's to produce, expand, and move on. So once again, guys, hope this talk's been beneficial for you guys. Hope to see you soon, and take care. Thank you very much. So if you want to hear more from us guys, or you want to follow us, simply subscribe to the channel. And also guys, make sure you ring the bell, okay? So you get notifications on your phone, your iPads and your computers when we put a new video up. Okay, so take care guys, thanks very much.